This is a spur of the moment live stream because I woke up this morning to get the chickens and ducks up and it was raining. So that kind of ruined my day. So I'm only doing this in 1080, 60 frames. So I was going to do 4K again, but I'm having issues with the 4K settings. I should be 100% capable of doing 4K, but it seems like it just don't want to be smooth video. And I just spilled coffee on me. Great. Oh well. Yeah, let's pop on my face cam. There we go. Kind of a odd. Let me see if I can change this video here. And that's way too big. Okay, so you guys should be able to see me now while I unbox all this equipment. So this is more equipment from the gentleman that retired from the chip programming business. And he wanted this stuff to go out to the world so that it can be used and keep this equipment alive. So we're going to go through it. My goal was to assemble as many of them as possible into working units, but when I got there, I only had one complete shell and a bottom. So it looks like I'm only going to be able to most likely get one unit going. So the rest are going to be parted out on eBay, or if you see something you like, you can message me and buy it, or you can wait for me to list it on the eBay. I'd prefer you to message me directly, and because eBay takes a 20%-ish cut, and we don't want to give 20% cuts to eBay. But if you're international, it's going to have to go on eBay because eBay's got the best international rates for shipping, and makes it easier on me. So the less administration time I have to do, the better. So. But let's continue on with this inventory. As I unload it from the truck, I inventory it. So I thought I had my paper. I guess I don't. So I'm gonna have to go in and grab one. I've done that like 3 times. I need to order the pneumatic line for that and get it going. Be right back. Okay, I have my paper. We can start the inventory. QS, how you doing, QS? We're going through a bunch of these old programmers, and we're inventorying the parts. These boxes are full of boards. So we have, right here we have one shell. So we got one shell. That is, it says bad pen driver. Don't know what it is. So this is a model 3900. So there might be 3900 parts in here, but it's probably just all 2900 stuff. But I'm just gonna set this up here on top of my 2900. Then we have it looks like a pen driver board. There. Top board, bad, pen okay. So no telling if that is true or not. So we have a pen driver board. We've got another one right here, and this has got a lock on it. So these are old programmers, but they're still useful. People use them all the time. They're reliable. Then we've got a base with power supply. Power supply is probably DOA, but they're simple switch mode. There's not much that goes wrong with them. Floppy, and this is off of a. There is no data on that one. Yeah, that's 2900. So we've got a half shell. So if we had another top, we could almost make and another power supply. I think we could probably, I don't know if there's any power supplies in here. We could probably make two of these work. I'll throw that one up top here. And it's got a floppy. So let's put these boxes on the ground and start going through them. It's pretty heavy. Yeah, just show you. These boxes are pen driver boards, all sorts of boards in these. So we'll find out and inventory every one of them here. Yeah, I was hoping there was going to be more cases, more shells, cases. So, but it says my stream's excellent, and I hope the video is smooth and not glitchy. See that sunburn? That was from washing all my fingers. That hurt. It's not that interesting with stream, but if you're into programmers and data IO stuff, you'll get a kick out of this stuff. Okay, somebody was needing a board I sent him the link. So we're gonna start going through all these. Let's see. So this is, you have to figure out how to ID these. The Data IO group has really good documentation on what's what. So these were held out separately, so I'm going to keep those separate. Cotty ran in the house, so okay, first set of boards. These are CPU boards. I think there's the person that had these before me did a little bit of diagnostics on them, but we'll list these down as, let's see, CPU board here. I think this has got the wrong memory in it. It should have 9-chip memory with parity, like this one does. So I don't know how to tell these apart from 3900 to 2900, but we'll figure it out. These are 1990, made in USA. And it's got a header pin that's gonna need a little bit of attention. So parts mule, no boot. I think this might be, if it's no boot, it might be the RAM. But this is part number 4102296-002. 4102296-002. And it's already got a bodge wire. I'm going to separate these into sections. Doctor. Yeah, I think I got your email. I just been busy, had my airplane stuff going on, and then I got a massive sunburn on my face, and so I haven't got no email recently from you, but I think I've got your speaker. I've got your bar of low melt solder in your speaker right here. So it's sitting here. We'll get that shipped out to you. So we got to go through all these boards here. Okay, we have another, looks like pen driver board. I think I'm going to separate. This came with 2900 programming system, disk 2 of 3, algorithm files, version 5.8. I think I'm going to pull these off. Keep these in a separate file. So we can add, I'm gonna number these. I'm just gonna print like the demo here. PD. That's gonna take a I don't have a spare tube of V2. Somebody, I was running low and a local messaged me and said he had a spare tube, and I got a spare tube from a local for myself. So I'm going to put this one as 3. I'm going to put that 3, PD3 right there. These are all dusty. I mean, this is dusty. This is dirty, dirty, dirty. So that's going to be number 2. If any of these interest you, just shout out. I'll be labeling them. PD is for pen driver. And then I'm going to do main board. I wish there was a way to just automatically add these. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get a little closer in here. I don't know on the shipping to Canada. So I'm not going to be able to do that easy. So, we got another disc. This is 2900 programming. Disc 3. Well, discs are probably bad. Okay, then we've got like another, looks like a set here. I'm just going to separate those. Looks like a relay board. You're really dusty. And then bad waveform generator. No memory. Yeah, Sterry's not that bad for shipping. Okay, so that's missing the waveform. We've got 3 of those. 3 MCUs, and then pin driver waveform right there. PD Okay. We're going to get this inventoried in. Ooh, this one has a socket in it. I've got a whole box of these socket bases. So I like how they use the pogo pin on that. I was going to implement that on the Zeltec on my next revision of board. Similar to this, where you can just drop it in, push it instead of having to push down on pins. So I think it's kind of cool. So that is going to go over here. And this says good. So bring these over here so you can see the stack. Pull that off. Okay. I should just take this and put it right there. That way we have stacks of those. Put that down as another one of those. Okay, so this one is part number. Look, see how dusty and dirty this stuff is? That's just horrible. Got bent pens. Those little bent pens. No, I mean, those will straighten out, but that's just... It makes it a hard sell when pens are all bent and whatever, so... This is 410-2298-002. What's this one? Now, there should be 3,900 and 2,900 stuff in here, supposedly. So I'm going to say that. Pull this dip out. There, I got to go through all those, or add those to the inventory of those. I've already done those. So. Yeah, the Joya long pens, but this stuff is just filthy. Okay, so we've got another waveform and pen driver board. So yeah, these are going to get parted basically. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to tell which ones are 2,900 and 3,900. Okay, so we got 5, 2, 3 MCU boards. Yeah, I could put these together and power them up as an assembly without a shell and see which ones work and which ones don't. We've got another dip. It's all going to be the same boards. Yeah, see how dusty these are. Yeah, it's a 2900 pin driver board. This is marked 2900 pin driver, so that's how we're going to probably end up having to tell. So those would be this is the bottom board. This way I don't have to take my 2900 apart to do the teardown, right? Two two nine seven zero zero one. Okay. 229740001. That'd be 2900. 2900. Yeah, I wish we're gonna have to note all these numbers down. So that is a $2,900 pin driver board. Decades of dust. No, just improper storage. Oh, we've got 2 more MCU boards. No memory. Bugs. Like a flying ant or something. No notes written on it. I do have a known working 2900. I can pop these in and give them a try. I don't know if I want to spend that much time doing that or not. But I don't know what I might pop the if they do work and they got firmware, I might pop the flash chips right here. Pop those flash, read them, back them up. Just in case one of these might have some odd firmware that's not already archived. So. 96002. You can tell different manufacturing periods because the color of the board. I'm gonna add 2 more of those. We're almost done with the first box. Got 2 more. That one's got memory. And we should technically be able to power these boards up with just add what 15 volts to the power connector, and it should boot into terminal. Because these are just mini computers, all they are. We'll add. Gonna have to start a second stack here. Yeah. Yeah. That's it for the first box. Is empty. Second tub. Okay. Oh, more pens. These are a mess. These long ass. Look at those long ass pens. Those are super long pens. So that's 3900. Is that a 3900 board? Pop that off. Underneath the no identification. Yeah, that's a lot shorter pens there. Those are super long. I'm wondering if this is a 3900. I'm not that versed in the identification of these, so. That's a relay board. It says 2900 relay board, so this has got to be a 3900. Oh, there's got to be a 3900. It's a relay board. Oh, this one's. I went 3 boards. That might be a 3900 also. we're going to put this right there. More 40 pin dip. That's 2900, so I'm gonna say that one. But yeah, these pins are all messed up, so I don't know what these are worth worth much at all if they're all messed up like this. So, and they're worth something to keep these programmers alive. So that would be a single. Oop, this goes over here. Single boards go there. That's pin driver board. That's 2900. So the 3900s must be the triple boards. So it looks like we've got some 3900s in here. So I'm inventorying old Data IO programmer parts. These are from a guy that retired from chip programming, and he had a bunch of old programmers and parts, and he wants to see them live on again, either as parts or to restore other units, or restore them completely, but there's not enough parts really to restore them completely, so. Like, here's another 3900, maybe. Don't say what it is. But I think the triple stacks are 3900s. So I do have enough parts probably to build a 3900 up here. So I will do that. Yeah, well, I was gonna go out to the airplane today, but I went to go let the chickens out this morning and it was raining. So, and my arms are still they're getting better. My face is peeling. Oh, yeah, we've got another triple. AT&T Capital Operations. Property of 3900. Yeah, the 3900 and 2900 bases are, I think, slightly different on the keyways or on the holes. So, but I don't know. This is going to be a long sell. I'm going to list them on eBay. Yeah, I lost count how many beers you were drinking there, Raph. I don't miss hangovers. Okay, we have two more. These are 1 meg. I think the MCU boards between 2900 and 3900 were almost the same. But we're gonna have to get a power supply, and on another live stream we're gonna have to boot every one of these into the terminal. And see what happens. So MCUs. I'll have to load up my SSD. That's 2900, 3900 SSD for these boards. They plug in right on the top there, and it eliminates the floppy drive system and lets it boot way faster. So I still haven't installed this in mine. I plan to do it, but I should do that on a live stream. Figure out how to set it up on a live stream. But I'll link that guy's eBay. Yeah, this back in the day, these programmers were very, very expensive. They were tens of thousands, 20 plus 30,000 bucks. So we've got, I mean, they use old 30-pin sims. I need to find me a sim tester. I need a sim tester. Because a lot of old machines that are still in operation today still use old 30-pin sims. So. I think that's it. Like I said, I got to figure out how to tell which ones are 3900 boards and 2900 boards. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. These can have up to, what, 8 megs, so 4 megs each. I need to find some of those 9-pin or 9-chip. That's 8 with 1 parity. So, okay, double check the counts. What do we have? $11 MCU boards. MCU boards. These were relay boards. 4 relay boards. Yes, 4 relay boards. We have 2 2900 pin driver boards. Correct. Okay, so triples, I'm gonna say these are 3900. I'll say 3900. Seven 2900. So that goes in inventory. Wonder if these floppies are any good. Probably not. And the way these things have been stored. So we have an empty anti-static bag. So that, we've got one more board. Oh, we got more than one board. Those are hiding in there. So another 2900 pin driver board there. Another 2900 pin driver board. And another 2900 pin driver board. I don't think these here can take another board. That was 3 more pin driver boards. So we got a total of 5. We have a total of 5. Okay. Double check each one of these slots. There was something Sticker. Lamp keeps resetting. No clue. That's it. That is empty. So then we have locks. $13. These get inventoried. We've got 3,900, 3,900, 29, 29, 29, and 29. So we got a 44, 40, 40, and 40. It's a lot of 2,900 parts and 3,900 parts. Yeah, I know my shop is a mess behind here. It's a disaster. Well, I keep saying I'm gonna get to cleaning it. And I never get around to it. I need to throw a bunch of crap out. But this one here, this programmer here, all I need is a pneumatic line because I trimmed the line up. It's just too short, and it's like a 3/8 line. It's not a 1/4 inch. Slightly bigger, but it's not 3/8, so it's got to be metric of some sort. I just been too lazy to measure it and order me a spool of it. But I still have to learn how to run the pick and place machine on it. And I need just dedicated time to do that. Just had something I was doing. Totally lost track of thought. Oh well. Oh, I was gonna post the kits. That would be Data IO SSD is even still on eBay. I'll have to look it up later. I don't see it. If I don't see it within the first page, it's generally not there. But I will post it, link to the guy's site for those. I do want to be doing a live stream testing all these boards here. Got to figure out. So that was tested in like 2023. Something failed. We'll look at it. But it's gonna be that's gonna be a long live stream. Like I said, I don't know if I want to put that much time into it. Is my audio dead? Is my audio bitrate 0? So yeah, I'm gonna figure these out. Let's keep repeating myself, don't I? We got the part number. Six 1532. That's not gonna help. So I know my live streams are kind of boring. Is what it is. It's content. We got to get Doctor his low temp solder and speaker. So I think we could pretty much assemble these if these are for a 2900. I got to see what I believe this long one here is for a 3900 with the super long pins. I'm gonna say that's for 3900. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was fun chatting last night. But that's an hour. I think I'm going to call that a successful live stream. If you're a data IO enthusiast, my contact information is in the description. If you need spare parts, contact me. If I test them and put them on eBay, the price will be higher. If I don't test them and they're just sold as is for parts, the price will be lower. But all these parts you've seen on the live stream here are available and they are for sale. I do have a 3900 I will be assembling, so I got to piece it all together. So that's the only parts that won't be for sale. So we will catch y'all later. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Catch y'all later.